What's going on, everybody? It's Cam Dorian. Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a massive coca operation build in the warehouse at the docks. This is a massive 48 pots growing coca leaves. We got 24 pots on this side, another 24 pots on this side, going all the way down. We got 48 suspension racks. We got 48 full spectrum lights. We got 14 large storage racks. We got all the supplies for the botanists in the middle here. We have an army of 10 botanists, nothing but botanists. We got the nice modern lights to give it a glow, and we got 32 drying racks for that heavenly quality coca leaf. And we got all the beds back here, easy access, easy payment to the employees. This is my bed. Now let's get into building this facility. And the point of this facility is to massively produce heavenly coca plants, coca leaves, that will go on these storage shelves in the front here. Then I will load those leaves into my van and drive it to the barn. And the barn is where we will do all of the processing and mixing into the final product. Miracle Mint, that's what it's called in my game. Your game might have a different name. It has a suggested price of $735, and you can set an asking price of $999, and you can easily get $1,000 from every single customer in the game, and most customers will actually give you $1,200 to $1,300 for just one. So let's get into the build. Here is a blueprint of everything you will need. Like I said, 48 pots, 11 beds, 14 large storage shelves, 32 drying racks for a total cost of $27,560. You're going to need 10 botanists, which equals $15,000 at a cost of $2,000 per day for their salaries. First, we are going to put the beds. So we got 11 beds. We're going to go all the way to the back of the warehouse here. And we are going to just line them up all along the back of the wall here. I like to have the beds on the first floor so I can quickly just pay everyone and not have to go up the stairs. Those are the beds there, and then we're going to put 2 on this wall here. And you can easily run through. We're going to move this one over a little bit. Like that. So you have a little gap, and then your beds are done. Alright, now let's go to do the drying racks. And what you're going to do is you're going to put them all sideways like this underneath the stairs on both sides. So 1, 2, and just keep going until this whole entire wall is filled, until you get like that, and you're gonna just have space for just that one set of 3 blocks there. That's how much space you want. Then you're gonna do the same thing on this side. Go under the stairs, and you just keep lining them up along the wall. And I know my other builds didn't have drying racks, and I said that you don't need them, which is true, you don't need them. But the reason I am now putting them in, because I am going for mass production and I'm just stocking up inventory until the game has updates. Hence, I'm going to just make heavenly product. And now we're going to do a few storage racks that'll help us line up our next item, which is the pots. So then you're going to take your storage rack and you're going to put it against the wall here, right in front of the stairs, and you're going to bring it back so you have a gap of 4 from the front wall to the start of the storage rack. So you can see I can fit another one there, so that's how you know you're lined up. Same thing on the other side. Start here and then go back 4, and then boom, you have a slot of 4 in front of the storage rack. All right, so those are your anchor points to line up now where your pots are gonna go. So we got 48 pots. So what you're gonna do is you're going to put one here and skip one, and then you're gonna put one down like that. Now you have one slot in between the rack and the first pot, and you put the next one next to it, and then you're gonna just keep putting a bunch of them down like this. And you're gonna put 24 on this side. We're splitting them up, 24 on this side and then 24 on the other side. And then same thing on the other side. So you're going to start here and then go skip one and then put the first one and the next one next to it. And then you're just going to finish up your lines here. For after you have your pots down, you're going to put your last 8 drying racks. So they're going to go here, this first one, and then the next one there. You're going to have space in between for 1 block, and you're going to make sure this first one is lined up with your stairs here, not here, because then it makes this area too tight when your suspension racks come. But you basically want to have a gap of 1 set of blocks, and then you're going to place it down right there. And then you're going to put 1, 2, 3, so you have 4 there. Remember, you're skipping a space in between, and then you're going to put the remaining 4 there. All right, so now you have your 8 racks. So now you have all 32 racks, and you have 48 pots laid down. All right, let's do the suspension racks now. You just pop them on top of all of your pots. Go to this side. And these storage racks in the front are just for the holding the equipment right now. They're not going to stay there, so don't worry about those. Alright, now we're going to do our lights. These are the full spectrum lights. We're going to put 1 on each. So now that we got all of our pots and drying racks and suspension racks and lights up, let's do the shelves. So you're going to take 1 shelf, you're going to put it right here. So you're going to line it up with the front stairs, and then you're going to push it back once. So that's going to go there. You're going to go all the way to the back of your warehouse, and then you're going to go here, and you're going to line it up to this bed and move it over once and put it there. So it's also lined up with the pole right here. So put it right there, and you're going to go across the warehouse over here. Same thing. Line it up with the pole, put it there, and then it's going to have 1 spot gap from the bed right there. Then you go back to the front here, and now you're going to do 3 shelves right here. So you're going to basically start at the front of your pots here to line it up, move it back 1 and then 2, and then place it, and then place 1 behind that, and then 1 more behind that. Same thing on the other side. Same thing here, line it up with the front of your suspension rack, move it back 1, 2, and then you're going to move it in 1, 2, just like that, and then you're going to put 1 behind it and 1 more behind it there. Again, on this side, you're going to start at your suspension rack, move it in 1, 2, and then back 1, 2, like that. So those are your supplies racks right there, and then you're going to put the 2 racks here right along the wall, 1, 2, and then another 2 racks here, 1, 2. These are going to be your output, final output, Heavenly Coca Leaves storage shelves. So you can quickly just grab them, load up your van, and take them to the barn where they're going to be processed into your highest quality cocaine. So now let's set up our pots. So this shelf here is going to be the output for 12 of your pots. And then this shelf in the back here is the output for the other 12. Because remember, we have 24 pots on this side, and then the same thing will occur on the other side because we have 24 on that side. So what you're going to do is you're going to shift, you're going to hold 9, you're going to hold shift, and then click on 12 of them. The ones in the front here. Alright, so we got manage 12 pots. You're going to press E, you're going to select seed, you're going to do coca, you're going to do additive, which is going to be fertilizer. And then you're going to have your destination as this front rack here. And the reason we're doing that is because the botanist that is handling the drying racks is going to grab from this shelf and then put on the drying racks. So now let's go back here, and then let's do the other 12 pots in the back here. So manage 12, press E, seed is coca, additive fertilizer, and the destination will be this rack in the back here. Alright, so that's done. Those 12 pots are done. Let's go do the same thing for the other side here. So we're going to grab these 12 in the back here. Manage 12, seed, coca, additive fertilizer, and destination is this rack in the back here. And we're using fertilizer to even speed up the process more because fertilizer gives you premium quality, and then we're going to use the drying racks to get them to heavenly quality. Alright, so let's do the last 12 pots here. So we got 4, let's get the rest of them. Alright, so 12, manage, seed, coca, additive fertilizer, and destination will be this drying rack here. Alright, so now the pots are set up. Alright, so let's set up our drying rack. So you're going to take out your clipboard, press 9, hold shift, and you're going to click on all of your drying racks on this side. You're going to click on 8 of them, and you're going to hit E, and then you're going to set your target quality to heavenly, and your destination is going to be this front shelf here. So that drying rack is done. Those 8 drying racks are done. You're going to go to the next 8. So you're going to shift click on all these 4 right here. And then you're going to take the 4 in the middle here as well. And let's go around to get that one. And then you have 8 racks there. Hit E, so that quality is heavenly, and the destination will be this front rack here. And you're going to do the same thing for this side. So go to your drying rack here, shift click on 8 of them, hit E, set the target quality to heavenly, and your destination will be this first rack here against the wall. And then the same thing for the last 8. So you can start with these 4 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then get these last 4 here. So that is 8. Press E, highest quality, heavenly, and then you're gonna route those 8 to the final supply shelf here. So all of your final heavenly coca leaves will go on these 4 shelves here. Each of them have 8 drying racks assigned to them to make a total of 32 drying racks covered. Alright, now let's set up our army of botanists. You're gonna need 10 botanists for this operation. Starting with this one, give everybody a bed. I've already done that. So this botanist is going to use their supplies from this first shelf here, and they're going to be getting 8 pots. So 1, 2, shift click them all till you get 8, hit enter. That botanist is done. Let's go to the next botanist. Give them supplies. Remember, there's going to be 3 botanists on each side, so each botanist has their own supply rack. So this middle one is that one's. And then the next 8 pots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hit enter. That botanist is done. Next botanist. 9, and then E, and then give them supplies. So they're going to have the final supply rack here, and they're going to have the last 8 pots on this side. Because remember, each side has 24 pots, so 3 botanists are needed for each side. So that's 8. Hit enter, and 9. So that's 3 botanists done. Now let's go to the next botanist, and they have a bed, and we're going to give them supplies. So we're going to give them this first supply rack here, and these 8 pots here. Hit enter, and that is done. Next botanist, give them the second supply rack on the right here, and the next set of 8 pots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's done. Go to the next botanist, final botanist for the pots. So you need 6 botanists that are just doing pots. This one's supplies will be the last shelf here, and the last 8 pots on this side here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hit enter, and that is done. So now all 6 botanists have their 48 pots covered. Now let's do the drying rack. Alright, now let's assign our remaining 4 botanists to our drying rack. So we're going to give them supplies. So remember, these 12 pots here are going to be destination into this supply rack here. So that means this botanist is going to pull the coca leaves from this supply rack and put it in 8 drying racks. So 1, 2, shift click them, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and hit enter, and that is done. That botanist has their drying racks and their supplies coming from the shelves to load their drying racks. Now let's find the next one. So Carl Jones, gonna give her some supplies. So she is going to take from this shelf in the back here, because remember, this one is the other 12 pots are being destinationed into this shelf. So then that's the large storage rack, and then we need 8 drying racks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, and then 7, 8, and then hit enter. So now that botanist is done. Repeat the same process for the last 2 botanists. So give this one the supply rack over here, which is going to have the destination of 12 of these pots. Right? And then click on drying racks. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hit enter. That botanist is done. Now the last botanist. Where are you? Here you are. Their supply shelf is going to be this one in the back here. Remember, this one is getting coca leaves from 12 pots on this side. So that's their destination. And that is a supply shelf. And then the final 8 drying racks go to this botanist. 1, 2, 3, 4 there. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 there. So now we're all covered. So that is all done. Your botanists are all completely done now. Alright, so we're going to order our supplies. So each delivery van can hold 320 items. But remember, fertilizer and soil takes up 10 items per inventory slot. So that means that the van can actually only hold 160 product for fertilizer and extra long life soil. So you're going to do 80 fertilizer, 80 long life soil. That's going to go to the docks, warehouse loading dock 1. And then you're going to go to Hanks and you're going to do the same thing. 80 fertilizer, 80 long life soil, and docks warehouse loading dock 2. Now let's go to Salvador because we need our seed. So let's get 160 of that. Now if you haven't gotten a good relationship with him yet, you can't do deliveries. You're just going to have to do dead drops to really fill up the quantity you need. Or if you can schedule a meetup with him, then do that. And the last thing left to do for this army is to pay them so they can get to work. So this facility has been running for a bit now, a day or two, and we have already produced tons and tons of heavenly coca leaves on both shelves here, looking nice and stocked. So I'm gonna go get my van, load it up, and deliver it to the barn. Here is a blueprint of everything you'll need for the barn setup, including the cost of each item and the employees at the bottom. Alright, so let's build out our processing and mixing facility here in the barn. First, we're going to start with the beds. We're going to go upstairs. We're going to put 1, 2 on that side, and then 1, 2 on that side, and then we're going to turn it. We're going to put 1, 2, 3 there, and then we're going to put 1 there and 1 there, and then the final 2 beds are going to go on the ground here. 1 and then 2. Alright, now let's do some shelves. So first we're going to do our resupply shelves in the front here. So you're going to do 4 on the side here, and then you're going to do 4 on this side here, which I already have 3, but now we have 4. Then you're going to come over here and you're going to put a shelf right in between the pillars like that, and then right underneath the window, basically line it up underneath the window, and you're going to put 3 shelves right there like that. You're also going to put 1 shelf here, and then you're going to put 1, 2, and then 3, 4. I already have the 2 here. And then let's grab some more shelves. You're going to put another one like this here, and then another one here. And then you're going to put 1 back here. And we're going to also use some small storage shelves. Put 1 in here. And then you're going to put 1 more small storage shelf here in this little gap. All right, and we also need some extra shelves back here. We're going to skip 1 and then we'll just put 2 for now. And what these are going to do is they're going to hold the processed coke from the lab ovens, because the lab ovens are going to be producing a lot of coke, and we just want to have them stored on this shelf, so then it's not just waiting to be loaded into this mixing machine. And that way the lab ovens and the cauldrons can just keep working and keep building up inventory on this shelf. Then a handler will take the cocaine from this shelf and put it in the first mixing machine, and it'll go along its process. Now let's do our ovens and cauldrons. So 6 ovens, 6 cauldrons. The first one right along the shelf, facing to the right, and then you're gonna skip a gap. Just like line it up there and skip 1 and put the next one. And you're gonna do the same thing over here. In front of the shelf, skip a gap and put 1. You can also line it up with the pole, makes it easier. And then again here, skip 1 and then put it. Okay, and now let's put our ovens, line it up to the cauldron, skip 1 and place it. So it's also lined up with the beam right there. And then you're going to put another lab oven right next to it like that, so it's lined up with the beam there, and there's space for the chemist to walk around. Same thing here. Go to the column and put the 2 ovens there, facing towards the cauldrons. And then here again, put 1 there and then 1 there. So now you have 6 cauldrons, 6 ovens, all lined up nicely on the right side there. Now we are going to do our mixing stations. So grab 8 mixing stations. So we're going to take our mixing station and we're going to face it towards our cauldrons and our ovens. And we're going to line it up with this first column here. Bring it back 1, 2, and then you're going to bring it towards you 1, 2, and place it down. And then you're going to repeat that for 4 mixing stations on the left side, and then you're going to turn it around. Basically, place it right behind that mixing station. 1, 2, and then place it. And you're going to place all those. And that is your 8 mixing stations. And also, the way to make sure you did it right is when you walk in, it's kind of symmetrical, right? You have equal spacing from this beam to the mixing station and this beam to the mixing station. Now you're going to do your shelves in between your mixing stations. So this is going to hold all your ingredients for each mixing station. These are your large storage shelves. And you're going to need 8 of those. All right. Now let's do the packaging section over here. There's our brick press. And you're going to put the brick press right here next to the shelf. And remember, you have to put a small storage shelf there. We'll just take this one and put it there for now. You can go buy another one later on. So that is the packaging station there. Oh, we found the mixing machine. It was in the shelf. Okay, so that's my mixing machine there for my personal use. All right, now let's set up our cauldrons. These shelves right here are going to be holding gasoline for the cauldrons. First, go to your cauldron. Set your destination to this lab oven. Go to your next cauldron, set the destination to that lab oven. Go to your next lab oven, go to your next cauldron, set the destination to the lab oven in front of it, and you're going to just repeat this process for all your cauldrons and your lab ovens. Lab oven, okay. Alright, so now let's select the output for the lab oven. So we're going to select 3 of them. And those 3, we're going to shift click on them, and then we're going to do manage, and the destination will be this first shelf on the left here. So that's done. And now let's go to the other lab ovens. So shift click on them. The last 3, manage, destination will be that other shelf right here. So we're going to set up our mixing machines. So go to the first mixing machine, keep the threshold as 1. The destination of the first one will be the second one. Hit 9 again, hit E. Destination of the second one will be the third one. Hit 9 again, hit E. Destination of this one will be this one. 9 again, hit E. Destination, and then you just keep doing that process, wrap it around. And just make sure you don't miss any destination linkages, because it is easy to miss. And the final one will go here. And this final destination for this mixing machine will be this shelf right here. And so let's set up the brick press. The destination for the brick press will be this shelf next to the one that has the unbricked product. So that goes there. And that is all set up now. So the bricked product will start on this shelf, and then a handler will keep moving it along these shelves until all these shelves are fully loaded with bricks. We already have our bricks here from previous runs. And that is all of the equipment set up. We also have the nice antique lights around the barn to give it a nice glow. So this build will need 5 handlers and 5 chemists. Let's start with the first chemist. Everyone needs a bed. I'm not gonna show you assigning all the beds, but it's pretty self-explanatory. Then you're going to click assign station. So each chemist can do 4 different stations. So the first chemist is going to do first cauldron, first lab oven, first mixing station, and we're going to skip one and then do the third mixing station. So that chemist is done. Let's go to another chemist and give them stations. So it's the same thing. You're just going to replicate 1 cauldron, 1 lab oven, and the second mixing station, and the 4th mixing station. Alright, so that chemist is done. Let's go to the next chemist. And then we're going to go and give them this cauldron, this lab oven, and then we're going to wrap around and do this mixing station, skip one, and then do this mixing station. All right, that chemist is done. Let's go find another one. And everyone else sleeps upstairs. All right, so this chemist is going to get this cauldron, this lab oven, and the final two mixing machines. All right, now all set. Now we have one more chemist. Where is he? This one. Where is she? And her stations will be the last group right here. So this cauldron, this lab oven, and this lab oven. There we go. So now we are fully loaded on all equipment. All right, now let's do our handlers. So this first handler... All right, so the first handler is going to have the brick press. And then we're going to give them routes. Each handler can have 5 routes. So the first route will be taking the snowballs of the product, putting it into the brick press. Now this handler has 4 more routes that we can assign. They're also going to be taking the raw coke from this shelf and putting it in the first mixing machine. Same thing with this shelf, taking the raw coke, putting it in the first mixing machine. So that process can go. Now this guy has 2 more routes, so we are going to have him take the bricks that he's putting already here and moving them along here, and then the bricks that are here are going to be moving along here. Alright, so this handler is all done. So this handler is not going to have any stations, but they're just going to have a ton of routes. So we have 8 ingredients in the middle here that need to go into each mixing station. So you're going to take the first ingredient from this one, put it in that mixing station. Second route is taking the ingredient from this shelf, putting it in this mixing station, and then so on and so forth. They will have the job of just restocking the mixing machines with the ingredients. All right. So that handler is done. Now remember, we have 3 more shelves that need their ingredients put into their mixing machine. So the next handler, that is the first thing we're going to do, so we don't forget. And the first route will be taking product from this shelf, putting it in that mixing machine, and then this shelf going into that mixing machine, and then this shelf going into that mixing machine. Now this handler has 2 more routes we can use, so what we're going to do is some restocking. So these shelves are going to be you restocking the ingredients, 4 on each side, because there's 4 mixing machines on this side and 4 mixing machines on that side. So they're going to take the first ingredient here, which will be oil, and they're going to restock it into this oil shelf right here. And same thing, take the second ingredient and restock it into this second shelf right there. Now, next handler. Again, no stations, just a bunch of routes. So this handler is going to take this ingredient from this shelf and restock it onto this shelf here. And same thing, the last ingredient from this restock shelf into this last shelf here. And now this one has 3 more. Now we got to go to this side. So we're going to grab from this restocking rack and send it to this storage shelf here to restock that. And then again, going to grab this one and send it to the battery one right here. And then the last one on this handler will be this one, going to the horse semen right there. Now this handler is all done, but remember, we still need 1 restocking shelf handler, take stuff from here to here. So let's go get that handler. All right, so the last handler, Deborah Lewis here, give her a bed, no stations, just give her 5 routes. First route is going to be that last shelf right here, restocking into this shelf here. So that's the Mega Bean, the last formula. And now this handler has 4 remaining routes that we can use. So what we're going to do is we are going to do some moving just to kind of move these along a little bit. So we're going to take the bricks from here and put them onto here. So it just keeps moving. And then this last shelf will just be me filling it up if I ever need to. So essentially all of these shelves right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, will potentially be filled up with bricks. The last 2 routes that this handler is going to take is going to be just putting some gas into the cauldrons. So taking gas from here, putting it into this cauldron, and then taking gas from here, putting into this cauldron. The last one will be another one taking from this shelf here and putting it in that cauldron. So that way I only have to put the gasoline in 3 cauldrons, 1, 2, and 3, and that handler will handle the rest. I also have to restock the gasoline shelves, but that's not too much work. Let's put some money in their boxes and let them start working. Now the recipe for this formula is oil, kook, paracetamol, gas, kook again, battery, horse semen, and mega bean. So now they are working, and this facility has been going on for a while, and we have all of this heavenly coke already produced here, stocked up and waiting to be going into the mixing machines. Now the mixing machines aren't running because I haven't done a restock yet, but I will be doing that soon, and they will just keep loading and keep loading. These cauldrons are full of coca, tons and tons of heavenly coca that they will just keep producing and keep filling these 2 shelves in the front here. And we already have 40 bricks, so almost 400 quantity of product ready to go and make sales. So there you have it. That is how you have a dual operation warehouse making insane amount of coca leaves with heavenly quality, and your barn making your final coke mixed product, which sells for minimum 1,000 to each customer in the game. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.